Ciao porco Dio, oggi una nuova puntata del Calice Nero a versione trash completa. Ricorda che il 27 appunto di agosto ci sono appunto i Sodom al Rock and Roll Bolotona, il 27 sarà l'apoteosi. Ricordiamo anche che il 6, se non ricordo mai, c'è la Glutination con appunto in Argalo, ragazzi, oggi puntata da non perdere.
Prima di chiamare comunque in diretta abbiamo dei piccoli annunci da fare. Abbiamo in preparazione una puntata crossover col portale Libere Comunità, perché l'autore Giacomo Maria Prati ci ha inviato la copia di Anarca e quindi ne abbiamo una copia io e una copia il maestro. E poi in occasione abbiamo una nuova entry che verrà poi messa nel prossime puntate di Playlist Killer, che sono il gruppo di Senza, io spero di pronunciarli bene, i Chiummo, con il loro promo, e quindi abbiamo questi piccoli regali che ci hanno fatto e ringraziamo entrambe le persone, sia il gruppo che l'editore. E prima di andare avanti salutiamo anche Tony.
Sì, ciao Tony, ciao Ale. Appena che arriva il prodotto, Ale, ti avvisa immediatamente. Volevo ricordare una cosa, la Dark Iden Production, sempre che lo dico, poi me lo dimentico, la nuova partnership di appunto il Calice Nero, con la battice con la giornata Farzini, e si è aggiunta anche l'Askio Production, che ha mandato il materiale, che poi devo mandare il materiale anche il Maniera Manarca, che sul numerati a mano.
Senza indugiare, welcome to il Calice Nero. I hope to pronounce the name in a good way, and hope that the guy don't kill me for making some mistake. York from Sodom, welcome York to il Calice Nero, and thank you for being with us.
Bella Italia.
Yeah. As you know, both me and the maestro looking forward to see you live again in Italy. And how are your feelings to be back in our country? And how is going? Where is the situation in Germany right now?
Well, I'm quite eager to come back to Italy. I think the south of Europe is always a very energetic in terms of the relationship of the fans and the music. So there's always good action in the pit. At the moment in Germany, we can do some gigs again. We did a couple of festivals this weekend. We also went to Sweden and to Belgium and Austria. So it's slowly getting back to normal again.
Great. And we know that you are wearing a T-shirt from an Italian band right now. Just make it okay.
That's one there is.
Violentor, and thank you, Alessio, for being here. If you guys don't watch the episode with Violentor, please check out the channel, because we did quite a great time with him. Very cool guy. Ciao Alessio, e salutiamo tutto ai Truri a Legend.
Okay. Maniac, so.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for the first warm-up question. And again, in the style of Il Calice Nero, we will do a bilingual interview. So we'll be both in Italian and English. Of course, we will let people from the comments, because our main channel is on YouTube, but we are live both on Twitch and Facebook. Just in case something happens, we got some backups. And if you guys have some question to York and about Sodom, please write in the comments, and we will add the question to our own. Meanwhile, some greetings, Iblis, Luciferi, Stefano. Thank you guys for being with us. And Maestro, just jump into the first question. Vai Maestro with the first question.
Prima di tutto un abbraccio speciale a Tony. Ciao Stefano, ciao Carlo Luciferi, ma un abbraccio veramente a Stefano. A Tony. Allora, partiamo subito con la prima domanda. Portiamo i Sodom all'interno di un mattatoio. Questo mattatoio dovrebbe completamente usufruire di colori completamente strani, particolari, ma con un bianco, con un biancastro, ma anche un color vomito. Quindi un rigetto. Questo rigetto dovrebbe trasformarsi in un riff di chitarra. York, come riusciremo a creare un qualcosa di pazzo, di folle, verso i Sodom, senza etichettatura musicale?
So the first question is about it's art related, composition related, about the riffing and the guitar style, but not, of course, watching out scales or the technique stuff, about the sensation when you compose stuff. The maestro imagine your music into some war or some like degradation and stuff like that. How you can imagine the setting? Let's imagine that you have a setting, an ambient, a place. What is the perfect place of Sodom, and about the concept of Sodom, of course, music-wise and also concept-wise. If you can speak a little bit more of the artistic side, then of course the composition, the notes and stuff like that.
Well, I can only speak for myself. I think for me, in Sodom, the ideal setting is a small club with no no photo or break inside, just the fans right in front of the stage. And artistic-wise, I would see Sodom like an entity in the darkest depths of hell, thrashing around and just making noise for the sake of noise.
Yeah, great.
All over the place.
And just to add something to this question to make the chapter closed, how is about the benefits and also the pro and cons to be in like a trio of band? Because I saw you live, a lot of energy, a lot of rawness, but still the body of the guitar sound, the bass, the drum, all banded together. What do you think about the things that nowadays in the recording session we have plenty of layers of guitars, so for example, just to make the sound more big, and on stage a lot of bands cannot bring what they do in studio. What do you think about the difference between the studio and the live setting?
So, well, we try to track only one left and one right guitar in the studio, and do a couple of overdubs, so we can pretty much transfer the recording to the stage. And with the new lineup, we can even do the old songs where there were a lot of overdubs for the solos, and when they were a trio, rhythm guitar broke away in the solos, and now we can hit more powerful while the solo is going on. I think it's there are a lot of bands who work with backing tracks live on a click track, but that's not the old school way. So yeah.
Of course, every project has his own way to set up the things. Someone prefers the rawness, someone prefers to be perfect on click, but it's up to the people. So I love the fact that you try to make everything like old school, because of course Sodom has his own signature sound. So I love the way that you guys think about it.
So no camper on stage, and I try if the stage is big enough to go into 2 full stacks on stage. So sound engineer, he hates it because I'm out on stage mostly, but yeah, and Inferno from.
Which kind of I will say this and then I will translate the question because people is asking. How is your setup? The head and the amp too. What you use?
At the moment, I play JCM 800 heads.
Okay.
Marshall, and I have custom cabinets. It's 4x12 on top and 2x15 on the bottom. They are loaded with Eminence Swamp Thanks, and it's from a custom company called the Cosmic Zero Caps. He's from Dortmund here, around the corner. He's actually a stoner rock doom guy, and he said, "Come and try it." I tried, and the 2x15 setup works very well on the low end. So it's
okay.
A bit of Man of War on stage.
Okay. In case you got links and stuff like that, you can send after the interview to Alan, we will put all the links in description if you want, okay, about brands and stuff. Okay. Before going to the Alessandro question in the comment, as always, guys, as a bilingual interview, just a break to York and I will translate what we said. Ok ragazzi, come abbiamo iniziato l'intervista...
Alessandro si è abbonato a la domanda dove...
Sì, Alessandro abbonato al canale proprio ad onore, insomma, quando la sbloccheremo questa funzione ai 1000 iscritti e 4000 ore di seguito.
Non vedo l'ora di avere Alessandro in sede intervista perché dico
Alessandro, sì, progetto gruppo H, mi raccomando, il suo progetto abbiamo messo l'altra volta. Allora, comunque, ritorniamo a noi perché sennò York ci ammazza, meno male che non capisce i nostri farfugliamenti, ma lo vogliamo bene. Comunque, abbiamo parlato all'inizio della questione del fatto che loro ritorneranno in Italia, in Sardegna, Rock and Ball e al Metal Italia Festival, con gli Aspix, mi sembra, a settembre. Sì. Comunque la loro situazione si sta smuovendo tra festival in giro per la Germania, per la Svezia, quindi loro sono ritornati attivi. Abbiamo parlato del setting perfetto per i Sodom. Per loro il setting perfetto è un piccolo club, vogliono stare a contatto con i fan a livello materiale, a livello spirituale. Ha parlato dell'inferno più caldo e più, diciamo, e più malvagio, pieno di lava e queste cose qua. Abbiamo parlato anche di suoni, come loro rendono live, utilizzano completamente un impatto old school, quindi loro non utilizzano click track, non utilizzano camper, che per il loro genere ci sta anche, perché comunque è giusto che loro abbiano un suono customizzato. Infatti ha parlato che c'ha delle testate fatte da un ragazzo che comunque suona Stone Rodum, che è proprio di Dortmund, che fa testate customizzate, poi utilizza i Marshall. La cosa figa è che loro cercano questo old school anche in sede di registrazione, perché la loro artisticità è quella di cercare di non fare come le band che magari fanno un altro genere, che hanno bisogno di più layer, più suoni. Loro vogliono rimanere con un left and right di chitarra e poi qualche sovraincisione di soli, insomma. Quindi bisogna anche vedere il genere, loro ci sta tutto per il loro impatto. Poi abbiamo parlato di come la situazione con la nuova line-up stia andando meglio, perché possono anche spaziare con la scaletta nei brani dai primi album fino agli ultimi.
Quindi dai più datati, più recenti.
Comunque Alessandro, sì, assolutamente, un po' come la nostra domanda del drink che faremo al termine.
La domanda di Ale, vai, poi faccio io.
Okay, so York, this is a question from our one of the loyal guys that is watching the Calice Nero right now. His question to all the guests is the same. So we hope that we can translate it in a good way in English. Okay. His question is about what you bring as an inspiration, books, paintings, etc., and what you visualize in your mind, images, thoughts, when you compose a song. And I, as Graziano, will add to this question. How is the composition process of Sodom? It's like one guy bring ideas in the rehearsal room, or you guys jam together. When you find something good, you will work on it?
Well, for the first place, inspiration for me is mostly fantasy and sci-fi stuff, like
E quindi fantasy e fantascienza. Vediamo cosa ci prende dal...
Figata fatta così, però.
Sì. Con la maglia di Violendor poi.
Minzia.
Doing Warhammer 40k stuff.
I also collect those, collect and paint those.
And on the other side, it's like this.
Oh, okay.
I just watch at my poster wall, and then I try to just catch the riffs that come to me, and whatever I feel while watching fantasy art, I try to transform into raw riff. Sometimes also TV shows or films inspire me, like now Stranger Things.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the
So you got inspiration from the old, let's say, old school and new school sci-fi and fantasy.
Yes.
Also, I saw Warhammer, so I think that you play role-play games, cardboard games, for example.
Yes, of course.
Okay, because I ordered the last day a reissue of an old RPG, me and my brother. So we got the package and we are starting to paint. We brought the primer, and Warhammer is one of our favorites right now. So a big thumb up for this. Okay, and you have something to about books, for example, philosophy and stuff, or you relate only on sci-fi and
more fantasy stuff.
Okay.
On the high fantasy side, the last book I read was actually from the Eternal Champion singer. He's also a fiction writer, and yeah, that's like Conan inspired stuff, the classic.
But about the first part of the question, you got also a passion for video games, or only for the cardboard?
Like Diablo 1 and 2, for instance, or StarCraft, Quake 1, Quake 2.
Yeah.
Modern games, I think they're too realistic in terms of you have so much options and so much stuff to watch out for. Like a game like Quake 1 was just running around, shooting, dying, starting all over.
Okay.
And now you have like in these games like Overwatch or Fortnite, you have to watch your ammo, you have to watch your health, you have to watch out for this and that and this, and you can switch into camera modes. And I just want to run around, have fun with a gun.
Yeah, just like Doom, go straight and kill everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, it was actually funny to see that your inspiration about things are from the sci-fi and fantasy. I can never imagine that, so it's very cool. And what about the second part of the question? If you want, I can repeat.
Yeah,
the composition side, you start as your own, or you compose the music all together in the rehearsal room with the Sodom?
For me, it's mostly I write some riffs and put them on my laptop with the drum computer, and then I send it to Tom, and he's arranging the stuff.
Okay.
Most of the time, he adds one or two little riffs by himself, and when he has a rough idea, we show it to Tony, and then we rehearse it in the room. And Frank, he comes mostly with more or less complete songs, because he is also a singer in his solo band, so he has another idea of what can be a verse than I have. I'm just so this sounds cool, this sounds cool, this sounds cool, so put it in a row.
Okay. So it's like a teamwork. You start something and just pacing around, and basically you start to arrange with all you guys. So it's a teamwork. Yeah. What you do.
And when we have the whole rough idea in the room, then sometimes Tony comes up with a cool or drum roll for an intro, or he says like, well, you could use this riff, or leave out the second and the third chord, and then it becomes an intro riff. So there's a lot of songwriting going on in the rehearsal room, actually.
Okay, great.
Basic idea is tracked at home normally.
Okay. Well, it was very cool, this kind of just like step by step work. Prima di tradurre un'altra cosa per York, so before translating to the people, I just want to add just a little question. You entered in, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in Sodom in 2018. So
yes,
4 years now. How was the way that you got into the guys? And basically, there was an audition. There was they know you from, for example, your past project, because I know that you was in the audition, or for example, Rotten Casket. How was the situation when you entered the Sodom?
When I entered, I was doing guitar tech for the Uncle Tom band. It's There's a German side project, so he already knew me, And then I heard that he was looking for a fourth member, so I didn't take a place of anyone. I was just an audition, and I asked if I could apply, and I sent him the audition tape, and apparently he liked it, so I invited for an audition, and afterwards it was immediately settled. Quite quick.
Well, interesting. You started as guitar tech basically, and you heard about the opportunity, and you basically jumped into. Okay. Oh, well, actually, was really great. Okay. Just a few moments of pause for you. Meanwhile, we translate and we jump to the next question. Ok, ragazzi, allora abbiamo parlato. Alan, io ho aggiunto un attimo alla domanda di Alessandro questo, perché lui è entrato nel 2018. Io conosco già il suo gruppo Beyond Distro, che è molto interessante. È entrato nel 2018 nei Sodom perché lui faceva già il guitar tech per un progetto che comunque conosceva già Tom, e praticamente appena sentito che loro già ricercavano il quarto membro, lui si è subito proposto mandando proprio il materiale che ha registrato con i Beyond Distro. Quindi abbiamo chiesto anche questo. Per quanto concerne Alessandro, le ispirazioni, ha fatto vedere anche le statuine, quindi abbiamo il fantasy e le fantascienze, a parte di Stranger Things, Warhammer, che anche io colleziono. Infatti gli ho detto che ci è arrivato un set di Warhammer a mio e mio fratello qualche giorno fa, quindi possiamo capire la nerdaggine che ci sta dietro questa cosa. Poi non so se Alan anche a lui piacciono queste cose o meno, però alla fine la sua ispirazione per quanto concerne le fonti di ispirazione sono tutti quanti riguardanti il fantasy e lo sci-fi, libri, dipinti, immagini, giochi di ruolo, videogiochi, e preferisce i giochi quelli là un po' più old school, come per esempio Quake, ha parlato, oppure ha parlato di giochi più nuovi come Diablo. Quindi la sua ispirazione per la parte di domande che io ho fatto sulla composizione dei Sodom, che avviene comunque in maniera step by step, sia dalla distanza che in sala prove, dove ognuno si passa idee fino a completare appunto una canzone intera. Le sue canzoni vengono da queste ispirazioni qua, quindi è una persona che non si fa tanti problemi ad ammettere le sue passioni, diciamo, oltre la musica, e soprattutto si mette al servizio di essa, collaborando con membri storici che hanno fatto la storia, ma soprattutto il bello di come ha parlato dei Sodom e da quello che ho capito è che fondamentalmente la sua visione, la visione dei Sodom non è quella che lui è il nuovo, quindi si sta, ma anche lui contribuisce parte attiva al songwriting del gruppo. Detto ciò, maestro, sempre tu con la domanda successiva.
Allora, il Sodom, in un'intervista che Fenriz e Le Darton rilasciò, disse che i Sodom fossero più black che trash. Questa situazione infatti mi trova d'accordo con Fenriz e Le Darton, batterista di questa situazione, però vorrei sapere da parte di York. Allora, da parte di mettiti nei panni di un fans, York. Nel 1989 uscì Agent Orange. Quindi quella parte lì devi vedere un pochettino cosa ti sembra, com'è il materiale, più black, più trash, oppure una sorta di modern style con chiave oscura. Per poi
diciamo la tua opinione sia da fan, da nuovo entrato, che da membro
lì da fan, proprio da fan.
Okay.
Invece proprio da compositore, da creatore, nel 2020 con Genesis. Quindi invece la nuova decade, la nuova apertura mentale dei Sodom vanno più sul trash, sul black, o dove vogliono andare a creare? Per caso vogliono creare un nuovo genere? Un qualcosa di folle per bambini psicopatici completamente appunto rinchiusi in manicomi?
Ha capito un po' la domanda, infatti ha annuito. Comunque, York, the question was like a reflection of the maestro, since he refers about an old interview of Fenriz from the drummer of Darkthrone, and basically he said that in the old days Sodom were like between thrash metal and black metal. So I don't know if you know the particular quote of Fenriz about the band, but since you entered in the band 4 years ago, it was kind of new, and we want to know, both as a member of the band and also as fan, the correlation between the black metal side of Sodom and the thrash metal side of Sodom, and what this kind of influences during the years changed and make Sodom as now, also because the maestro refers to the 2020 Genesis, the album. How about the new influences, the old influences, and what about the musical direction of Sodom? They want to make something new in terms of inspiration, settings, mood, or they just want to try to express themselves for what they are. So basically, the question is like two in one, because you have your own point of view, but also the point of view of the band. So we want to know about this, and we hope that I translated well, and hope the question was clear. If not, I can repeat without any problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think in the first place, Tom sees Sodom as witching metal. So that was like his own genre that he invented on the first demos. And I think it's a mixture of first wave black metal to like Venom, with the influences from thrash bands like Slayer or Dark Angel, so the more sinister stuff. And I myself try to combine my own influences as well, like also death metal riffs that were already present on records like Tapping the Vein, for instance, or Code Red. So there were some heavy death metal influences on these records. And you can hear them on Genesis, for instance, in the blast beat parts from Friendly Fire, or what else have we done? On my first song on the Partisan EP already, we had some blast beats in the end at the configuration. So yeah, that's what I try to incorporate is everything I like into one mixture, and then Tom comes on top, and whenever he sings and plays bass, it becomes Sodom in the end.
Okay. And what is your opinion and also your point of view about a seminal album like Agent Orange 1981, both as a new guy on the band that tried to, of course, play some of the songs, I think, from that album, but also as fan, how much this album is important and for the history of the band?
I think it was the most important album, as it was the breakthrough, and also for Tom personally, he could make a living of the band from that year on. So he could finally quit his job, and wherever you come, everybody knows Agent Orange and Ausgebombt, and Remember the Fallen. So it's like Ace of Spades for Motorhead.
Yeah.
And for me personally, it's a huge honor to play the songs alongside Frank also. And we actually did one show in the Czech Republic last year where we played it from the first to the last song in its entirety, and that was quite cool. So, but for me personally, I like Persecution Mania more. So
okay, so you are you love the that album more the previous one than the Ancient Orange.
Yeah.
I'm quite 50-50 because I cannot listen Sodom without merging also two albums. So I'm both fans of the both era, but of course Ancient Orange was like the reigning blood of Sodom, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So was okay. As always, guys, make your question to York. You have him, so make question to him whenever you want to ask to him. Because meanwhile, I'm translating. We want to prepare for the next question because will be a kind of weird for York, but I hope he will enjoy this kind of question. Quindi, mentre ci prepariamo a tradurre, io ho già annunciato che la prossima maestra sarà un po' strana, quindi lo sto facendo preparare. Abbiamo parlato riguardanti la sua visione. Lui dice che più che altro è d'accordo con la tua visione di black trash, perché comunque si riferisce al black metal della prima ondata. Io dico Venom, io dico anche un po' di Hammer, Celtic Frost potremmo anche dire, però Venom più Venom.
Sì, però anche qualcosa che senti Frost ci può essere.
Sì, però lui dice che sostanzialmente la verve trash proto black, chiamava così, si unisce alle nuove influenze dei Sodom, come abbiamo parlato di Genesis, 19esima Genesis, che è quella del death metal, che è presente in alcune parti anche di Blast Beat praticamente. Quindi loro sono in continua evoluzione e il loro mood è di fare ciò che più ritengono giusto e che suona bene, diciamoci la verità. Oramai i Sodom sono una di quelle band che sono storiche, ma secondo me, anche ascoltando i loro nuovi album, non lo dico perché sta York qui, perché anche, lo conosco anche per i suoi altri progetti, tra l'altro, è che loro hanno sempre qualcosa da dire, non fanno mai qualcosa di stantio. E quindi sostanzialmente la sua visione, sia da fan che da musicista, è quella che comunque portare cose nuove nel sound dei Sodom è importante anche per mantenere viva la band, soprattutto per mantenere quella carica. A proposito di Ancient Orange, loro hanno fatto un live completamente da zero, cioè facendo solo quell'album, dalla prima, stavo dicendo da 0 a 100, dalla prima all'ultima canzone di quell'album. Lui è più fan dell'album precedente, ossia Persecution Mania, però lui dice che Ancient Orange è un album dove le canzoni vengono richieste dai fan, perché poi io l'ho definito un po' il Raining Blood dei Sodom, quell'album che da quello in poi ha scattato quella scintilla che ha fatto anche lasciare loro i lavori che avevano, perché potevano vivere sostanzialmente solamente di Sodom e di live e di musica. Quindi è un album particolare che tutti i fan richiedono, ma il fatto di comunque sperimentare sempre rende la composizione fresca, perché comunque ci sta lui che è un po' più giovane, gli altri che sono storici, quindi si unisce un po' la parte nuova e vecchia per un risultato che comunque mantiene lo spessore molto alto di proposta musicale, perché comunque io e il maestro li abbiamo anche visti dal vivo sia in 3 che in 4, quindi possiamo confermare la loro fatto che loro spaccano i culi, lo diciamo senza termini.
Sì, spaccano anche le vergini, sicuramente le vergini appunto del 27 a Bologna non vedono l'ora di masturbarsi appunto nella musica con i Sodom. Allora, Ale, il 20 ci sono i Black Funeral, ecco la puntata apocalissi, siamo alla saggiottezza spara, e poi ci sarà una sorpresa che non dico niente, vediamo un po'.
Vai, maestro, prossima domanda, vai.
Allora, portiamo i Sodom all'interno di un quadro su 3 sfumature: natura morta, natura passiva, natura in coma. Natura in coma, in poche parole, è come un individuo che subisce un incidente ed entra appunto in un coma che non si sveglia o si sveglia dopo ben 30 anni. In questi 30 anni all'interno del coma, i Sodom come riuscirebbero a non far perdere la cognizione mentale della persona che è in coma, quindi risvegliandosi si risveglia in maniera tranquilla, non vegetale? Come riuscirebbe appunto basso, batteria, chitarra, voce a fare questo viaggio mentale all'interno di un corpo in coma?
Okay, so as you can imagine, this is a tough question, but we hope that we can have it because I have to translate it. Wow, okay. Anyway, if you see me typing, it's because I want to track what you say in real time from English to Italian. Okay. The question is really weird because mainly, Maestro asks you if you have the chance to use the music not as music but as a brush to paint a painting. Imagine the painting using Sodom music with a kind of deadly nature and stuff like really dark and but also explosion and stuff like that too. He wants to know what is your vision when if you have to have a brush and paint something by listening to Sodom music, and also what is your sensation and feelings and what you want to share with the viewer because they see the painting, the feelings, and also the emotion. What kind of painting you will start to make with your own music, but also try to make your signature and say, okay, this is the York Sodom painting?
Okay, that's a tough question.
I advised you that was weird and tough, so I hope that it's weird enough.
I would like it to be like a Paolo Girardi painting,
Okay.
but my profession is not that good, so maybe it will just something like fire and explosions in hell, with some demons having a fight against chaos tanks. So it's basically like a 40K painting.
Okay. Not some, as the maestro said, more introspective, dead nature, comatose stuff, but you make war, explosion, and boom, 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 stuff like that.
Violence.
Yeah, violence. Yeah.
Violence, bloodshed.
Great. And also the color of the paintings. I think that should be on the orange, red. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think mostly red and yellow, and framed by black.
Okay.
Just blackness.
So the pure violence and war, basically. Maestro, purtroppo la tua visione, so I'm translating it by the way, la tua visione di Sodom, del squadro Sodom è sbagliata, perché lui dice non vedrei uno stato comatoso, ma vedrei esplosioni, demoni, inverno. Io ho detto esatto. E praticamente dice che i colori saranno sul rosso e sull'arancione. Quindi diciamo che è una visione un po' più esteriore, un po' più introspettiva, ma tu sei il maestro, quindi non potevamo aspettarci che...
Questa domanda è sbagliata. Se facciamo una domanda semplicissima, base, nel senso, i Sodom, che tipo di killer sarebbero per creare, comporre un omicidio fatto a regola d'arte senza lasciare appunto le impronte digitali?
Ci voglio fare anche la domanda sulla colonna sonora. Ok, the next question is about not the next question. The next two questions are: if Sodom have to relate and to be like a famous killer, which killer should be? And the second part of this question is: which kind of horror movie can be featured by Sodom music as soundtrack? So imagine that someone calls you and say, "Oh, guys, you have to pick or one song of your discography or make a one song, new song as a soundtrack for my horror movie." Which kind of movie should be for make this movie a Sodom soundtrack?
Okay, well, as a serial killer,
yeah.
Oh man, it's
o killer o l'arma bianca che il killer
so you can also choose the weapon of the serial killer if you don't have the name of the killer, if you want.
Così forse
we could be the Zodiac killer, so
you can also describe the perfect killer. You have not to choose for example a famous one if you want.
Well, the perfect one for Sodom would have a chainsaw, and he would just
okay,
or break into your bedroom.
Okay. Just like to okay, I got it. Quindi un killer con la motosega, proprio old school as fuck, you know. So with the mask, break the doors and start with the chainsaw to smash everything. And what about the movie?
It would be directed by Toby Hooper, of course. And well, what can happen in a Sodom horror movie? I think it would be about a soldier in Vietnam who gets freaked out and starts to kill his own squad.
And they have the perfect title because Iblis suggested us Napalm in the Morning. Perfect title for the movie. Ok, quindi per lui il film horror perfetto è un film ambientato in Vietnam dove praticamente il soldato sbrocca con la chepa e inizia a ammazzare tutti quanti. Ho detto proprio in maniera, ho detto in bolzanese così lo capiscono anche a Bolzano. Ciao amici di Bolzano.
Invece, ciao Giuseppe, invece le cover, York come le vede? Le cover sia quelle che pre-Sodom, pre-York, scusami, quindi prima di entrare in Sodom, e quella dopo che è entrata in Sodom. Secondo te, York, che tipo di collage hanno le cover? Come si riescono a unire una insieme all'altra con la musica, con le lyric, ma soprattutto con i colori? Come si riesce ad amalgamare senza uscire fuori strada? Perché le vostre copertine sono particolari anche, sono delle copertine particolari, proprio un trend market, proprio Sodom style. E questo è molto difficile, perché molte band fanno delle copertine cagate, assurde, come Cataclysm e storie varie, perché fanno delle cagate assurde, minchiate,
Cioè, magari la
incredibili.
musica è anche buona, ma le cover si devono pure buttare nel cesso, diciamoci
No,
la
no,
verità.
posso buttare accesso anche Cataclysm,
Tipo tutti
tranquillo.
quelli war metal con la cosa bianca e nero e il logo rosso. Comunque, a parte gli scherzi. So, York, the question of the
No,
maestro
per
is
Cataclysm non stavo scherzando.
okay. The question of the maestro is about the relation between music and the cover art of the albums, because we know that we notice that all the cover album has his own stuff and his own meaning. Okay, so what is your vision? I don't know if you as band give some inputs to the people that draws the cover art of the album, and what is the mainly feature that a Sodom cover album should have to basically have this kind of in your face mood and also to be recognizable from the people, because we know that Sodom had always, even in the early work, a good choice and good quality of artwork.
A must-have is of course our mascot, the Knarrenheinz. So that mascot,
of course,
the guy. And for instance, for the Genesis cover, we got the famous Motorhead painter, and I think Tom came up with the idea to paint the Knarrenheinz like God from the part in the Bible where God destroys the city of Sodom. So that's basically Genesis verse 19 is the story how the Sodom gets
this
destroyed.
was like a biblical stuff because it seems like an angel.
Yeah, and then the painters started to put all kinds of religious images into the whole painting. Like on the backside, I think you can see this pillar from Lord who turns around and looks upon the destruction and then suddenly gets petrified. And all the details from this story. So God sent out the angels to rescue the good persons. And I think also these heads you can see above the Knarrenheinz, like the lion or eagle. And,
I just show it on the screen so people can figure it out. All the elements of the cover.
Stuff is very symbolic on it, and even Tom doesn't know everything that the painter meant with it. So,
so you guys had make to the artist just a rough idea, and he started to make his own things. Okay, perfect. It was very good because I never saw it like this biblical stuff related to Sodom, but was kind of great because we have something different than the past. And if you have to imagine, I don't know if you are working on your material or not, but if you have to imagine the stuff, if you have to pick an album that you like from Sodom from the past, you of course you already said that you was a fan of the Persecution Mania, but leave Persecution Mania, what is your favorite album and song to play live?
My favorite album is Better Off Dead.
Okay.
And my favorite live song, that's a tough one.
Yeah. I know that only pick one is difficult, so
I think it would be Conflagration.
okay.
Because it was the first song I wrote for the band, and it's still on the set list, so Tom likes it too. And I like when the fans start a circle pit when the mid-tempo part comes up and this pounding riff.
Okay.
And you can see the aggression building up in the audience every time. So and on the end of the song we have that small grindcore part. So everything in one.
Ok, great. Ok, ragazzi, quindi avete sicuramente capito qual è l'ha detto il suo brano preferito, quindi è inutile che lo traduco. In ogni caso, la visione riguardante le cover art è abbiamo fatto vedere la cover art dell'ultimo album. Quindi c'è molte volte danno una libera interpretazione all'artista, infatti molti significati neanche Tomo per esempio li conosce, e la loro volontà è quella di mantenere comunque la loro mascotte, che sarebbe, si chiama in un modo particolare che io non riesco mai a pronunciare, scusatemi, che sarebbe il soldato con la maschera antigas.
Sì, ho capito.
Io non, cioè, lo so che è facile da dire, ma io non ci riesco proprio, scusate. Praticamente la loro visione è quella di fare sempre delle cover art che hanno un senso anche con l'album. Quindi, per esempio, Genesis c'è una figura quasi biblica, con tutte le figure mitologiche, religiose dietro. E hanno lavorato con quest'artista che ha lavorato con dei colori molto diversi rispetto diciamo, al passato, perché loro ogni album hanno una visualizzazione anche di quello che deve uscire, e quindi poi contattano l'artista, diciamo, che magari può dare loro diversi input. Infatti abbiamo visto per esempio delle cover art fatte anche dal nostro amico Bob Doderico, no? Che sono completamente diverse da quelle che abbiamo visto prima. Quindi la loro volontà è quella di lavorare con l'artista, di dargli un input, soprattutto di far lavorare, da quello che ho capito io. Poi ragazzi, fatemi sapere se sbaglio o meno le traduzioni / adattamenti, anche la situazione della musica, quindi della musica e il suo album preferito, anche quello che l'abbiamo già espresso, però gli abbiamo voluto dire un po' affettivamente, sia da fan che da musicista entrato della band, come vive anche la situazione di essere comunque parte di un gruppo che comunque fa parte della storia del genere, soprattutto in Germania.
Allora, saluto Igor e poi partiamo appunto subito con la domanda di Fabio.
La domanda di Fabio. So, York, this is
Fabio.
a question from Fabio, Grave Violator. So, he wants to know how Sodom have relationship with young band, for example, to make them under their wings to, for example, choose the support band or to just hook up. What is the band that is starting that maybe they want to basically say, okay, guys, you can start like this and maybe come with us and start a tour, or basically it's you say bands that are growing up, such as El Reaper. We know that, for example, tours are made by agencies, so agency pick the combos for the tour, but they want to know your and also Sodom idea about the news, the new bands, the new scene. And since we are talking about the scene, and we are from Italy, if you have some Italian, we know that you have the Violator t-shirt, but except them, if you have some experience with Italian metal bands that you like, that you want to suggest us, we always ask about the favorite Italian metal bands to our guests, but also the fact that Fabio wants to know your relationship with new bands, and also he also said, sorry for the message too long, but the typings are limited. Guys, Sodom, you are great, and also guys of il Calice Nero, we discovered you by this interview. Grazie Fabio, thank you Fabio.
Grazie Fabio, e grazie a voi che siamo qua, ricordatelo, grazie a voi, a tutti voi che stiate seguendo.
Okay, York, what is your opinion about this question?
So mostly the local promoters pick the opening bands, but sometimes I tell Tom that I would like to have this or that band. Sometimes it happens. For example, in December we go on tour in Germany, and we have Traitor from the south of Germany, a thrash metal band, good friends of mine, and I could arrange it that we have a few dates with them. And another band from Essen is called The Night Eternal. It's an up-and-coming band, more in the vein of In Solitude, for instance, and Tribulation. But they will also support us because I wanted them to have on tour. So sometimes it
Okay, so sometimes you got the chance to pick the support band. Sometimes, of course, it's the promoter agency that arrange tours and make the thing. That. And what do you think about the Italian metal scene? If you got the chance to play with some bands,
I would pick, of course, Violento and Bunker 66.
Okay.
I like them a lot. I think they're actually on a label from Essen right now on Dying Victims Records. And yeah, so that would be a cool band. And then I would have to think. I'm not that familiar with the Italian underground, actually. So if you have some examples.
We got plenty of bands, both on the show, both me and Alan have our own project, but of course we don't want to make a shameless promotion right now. But if you say to us the subgenre, and we will try to suggest you some names, because in Italy we have got plenty of bands from black metal to alternative rock. We have got everything here, so there is nothing better than the other. So we got a lot of, for example, we got as first episode an old school cult Italian black metal band called Evil, the first one that mixed keyboards and symphonic stuff with black metal back in 1992, 1993. But we also got, for example, Our Penance. We have to interview them. Brutal Death. We got, for example, another bands more into the ambient stuff. Teatro Satanico, Arrogat, for example. So we got in the show in Calice Nero, we really want to push the underground because we live the underground. And...
Just think one more.
Ok. Allora ragazzi,
poi
praticamente di solito i Sodom guardano le band di supporto e le scelgono, lo dice che molte volte sono le agenzie. Ok.
Grande.
Maestro, tu li conosci questi qua, giusto? Okay, we recognize the project, so thumb up. And I was just translating your question because people that are not familiar insiders of the music, the industry, metal stuff, they not always the bands pick the support band, quindi non sempre le band prendono le band di supporto. Di solito ci sono agenzie che preparano i pacchetti, fanno le loro cose e magari hanno l'opportunità attraverso management o altro di fare le cose. Però comunque, come va detto York, lui ha fatto in modo che degli amici, dei gruppi, soprattutto per il tour tedesco, li possono supportare. Poi chiederemo tutti i link. Non ti preoccupare. York, another question from Alessandro. Un'altra domanda da Alessandro.
Lei già tradotta la domanda di Fabio? Lo fai dopo?
Sì, l'ho appena tradotto, l'ho anche ripetuto.
Ah, perfetto, ok, scusa. Prego la domanda di
question from Alessandro. Which album, not only metal, if you have another genre to pick, it's good, represent your different period of your life? So just pick one for the childhood, pick one from the teenage years, and pick one for the present. Alessandro wants to know the different period of your life based by albums.
Okay, as a childhood, I would choose some classical music because my father was into classical music, and that was basically the very first music I was exposed to as a child. So something like Beethoven or Bach or something. Then in my teenage years, I would choose Altars of Madness from Home of Angel. And it was one of my first favorite death metal albums I acquired, so that's a classic for me, up to date.
Yeah, I love it.
For me now, I would choose first Eternal Champion record, or maybe Atlantean Codex, because it's a modern day classic at the moment for me.
Eternal Codex, ok, perfetto. Quindi avete sentito Morbid Angel, musica classica, e poi ha detto anche gli album presenti. Non ve li traduco perché è inutile, cioè si capisce. Cioè, come abbiamo ancora un altro po' di tempo, gli chiediamo se ancora un po' di tempo, ci facciamo l'ultima domanda. So, it's usually the interview were like 1 hour, the podcast, the video. We just want to ask you if you have time for make 2/3 more question and we are good to go, or if you have to go, we jump right on the last question, as you wish.
Or you can go on.
Okay. I hope anyway. I hope that you are enjoying
a painting, but I'm not a
ok. Ti ha fatto il divino in diretta.
No, veramente. Io non vedo l'ora che venga il 27 a Bologna, perché sono sicuro che mi
I hope that you will meet the maestro in person at Rock and Ball in Sardinia, because he will be on the first row. I think that you will recognize him because he will shout out from the crowd, Sodom painting, and he will show the screenshot. Maestro, urla Sodom painting, e vedi che York ti riconosce subito. Ok. Vabbè, andiamo con la domanda. Vai.
Sai qual è la domanda che mi viene?
Perché io sono un poser con i capelli corti. Fai la domanda tu, non ti preoccupare.
No, ma lo sai la domanda che mi viene spontanea? Ci sarà un giorno, è una domanda veramente abbastanza scontata, però ci sarà un giorno un concept di 3 album dei Sodom sul Vietnam, con tanto di appunto layout, quindi booklet, ma booklet non di 10 pagine, ma proprio anche di 30-40
enciclopedia, insomma.
Sì, un'enciclopedia però fatto tutto in vinile, quindi sarebbe una cosa limitata per pochi, e appunto di parlare tutto del Vietnam, di tutto quello che c'è come processo iniziale, durante e finale, quindi con le catastrofi, le morti, i momenti più distruttivi e quelli forse anche più liberatori, quando è finito tutto, perché finalmente finisce, lo sei brutto dire, però finalmente finisce questo incubo, ecco.
Ok, so the maestro is asking to run out with a fantasy, because imagine just like a trilogy of 3 albums made only in vinyl, and he said Sodom can make it's like 3 chapters, 3 album about Vietnam War, and also make a encyclopedic booklet with all the stuff, with all the things. Can Sodom in the future can make something really for the fans, really strange, limited edition? And what do you think about the revival of vinyls, cassettes, and also the fact that people nowadays research more this kind of products, because basically music is available everywhere, so they want to have like a relic, like a unique object. What do you think about this explosion of limited edition?
I don't like it actually.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I'm quite prone to buy it eventually, like.
Mi piacciono tanto queste versioni, per lui è quello che
Massacre demo is like a tape box where you have 2 tapes.
Okay, so.
So I like to have it, but I wouldn't like to do limited stuff for the fans. Only to buy it, only to make them want to have it. I think it's cool to have something like this for the maniacs, who also what do you say it in English? Who know the worth of it. And but basically, I don't like the fact that there are like 4 or 5 different vinyl.
No, he's not say to make 4 or 5 different. He say make chapter, for example, album 1, chapter 1, album 2, all the albums about the war in Vietnam.
Okay.
He says something like it's a saga. Let's do like this. Speaking about fantasy, so just like a saga. He said, "What do you think about to make a saga of Sodom speaking about war?" And he said, for example, war in Vietnam.
I think that could work out actually. I think Tom would have enough ideas for lyrics that follow up. So it could be something cool in the future. As far as I know, some bands are already trying it. So
Okay.
maybe we can work it out too.
But of course, you do not like, for example, as Cannibal Corpse made 30 different versions of the same album, one red, one blue. You do not like it. You like the maniac stuff, the limited, but not the over the over stuff. To make a lot of stuff.
One black one, one red one, for instance, or a picture disc, and that's enough. So that's
okay. When you do, okay. No, because maybe I did not make the right translation, but I was speaking about the saga, not to make the different, because I think that it's pointless to have the album with 20, 30 version. Okay, vinyl, make your 1-2 variation, CD tapes if you want, but ever like them 21 acid green, one white splatter is way too it's like not a music anymore. It's about selling something that you put on the credenza and stuff like that. Ok, quindi lui praticamente dice che il concept degli album l'hanno stanno facendo sulla guerra in Vietnam, potrebbe essere fattibile per Tom, anche se molte band lo stanno già facendo in realtà. Poi dice Tom avrebbe molto materiale, però a lui non piacciono le cose alla Cannibal Corpse che hanno fatto, tipo la Metal Blade ha fatto 30.000 versioni dell'ultimo album, vinile color rosso, color verde, color, dice falle 1-2 fatti bene, fai una tape, fai un CD, ma praticamente non rompere i coglioni, detto proprio in maniera lui ha fatto vedere una tape, dice a me piacciono queste cose super limitate, ma devono avere un senso, non devono essere fatte per vendere. Ok. And since we also, mainly the maestro, we also run a fanzine, a printed zine that we do like once per year, one number per year. What do you think about the evolution of the fruition in the information, and also what do you think about the printed zine? Io ho chiesto cosa ne pensa del zine. Penso che ce l'ha pure lui. Che sta
no, York, cazzo, ci ubriachiamo insieme. Va vedere.
So
also
you need also our zine too. So
yeah. I think you have to read this one from Germany.
Ok.
La
conosci? Io sono
di nome. Questa di nome la conosco.
Nuclear Winter Zine at the moment.
Nuclear Winter Zine, questa la conosco anch'io.
C'è anche un'etichetta, la Nuclear Winter, giusto?
There is also a label called Nuclear Winter, or we are mistaken?
Oh no.
So yeah.
Okay, no, because we Nuclear Winter Zine.
The Cthulhu Zine.
Cthulhu Zine, ok.
Figa questi zine così, cazzo.
So you love the zine because we are making one. I hope that if you got in touch with the maestro, we can send you.
Ma tanto lo sa già, io che gliela do a mano la zine in regalo.
Okay, so maestro will send you also the zine, our zine, the Arte Degenerata zine to you. So get in touch with him because we have plenty of stuff. So what do you think about making it, and also the evolution of the zine, and they have any sense in 2022 to be existed? In my opinion, yes, but what do you think about it?
I also think yes, but I also go a lot to Bandcamp, for instance, and to find new music, or I read something in a zine, and then I go to the Bandcamp site and try to order from the band.
Okay, so you try to support directly the band, so buying their stuff.
Yes.
Cool.
I don't listen to Spotify. I only try to listen to the stuff I have a hard copy of at home. So I listen a lot on my phone and on my laptop in the rehearsal room. So it's a lot of always putting on vinyl. But I need to have the actual vinyl in order
I agree.
To listen.
Yeah, I agree also because I have the philosophy. Maybe it's too extreme, but I say I speak with my older brother, which play bass with me in my band. They said Salvatore, imagine that someday people shut down all the digitals, Apple, Spotify. You will only got the hard copies. In my opinion, hard copies are the best way to support a band because they are like a unique item. Nowadays, they do not sell anymore, but you can read the booklet, make everything, and go on and stuff like that. We love this kind of attitude. In fact, Phantomas74 said, great, he's another one like us. He said mental with mental disorder, under quote. Yes.
Sono tutti malati di mente.
Va direttamente su Bandcamp a supportare le band e li compra direttamente dalle band. Questa è una cosa molto bella. It's very cool to know that because people always listen to Spotify playlists or discover weekly stuff. I think that the most important way is to support directly the bands. And we as Il Calice Nero have a lot of bands that we want to promote. In fact, we made a kind of episode called The Playlist Killer, and basically we do reviews and make the people listen to the music live stream, and we chat together with people and we got interaction. Oh, you love this, what do you think about that? And we love this kind of sharing the music because it's not sterile as a Spotify or something like that are good, okay, but of course are not like the best way to listen and to make music because it's like click and you are gone. But when you feel the music, it's better.
Yeah.
So I think that you agree with us. Maestro, che ne pensi se facciamo l'ultima domanda della giornata?
Sì, prima di fare l'ultima domanda, saluta Sweet Sadness di Enrico, un abbraccio, che è in turno lavorativo, ci segue, infatti ci sarà la video recensione anche del progetto, ragazzi, ci saranno le diverse video recensioni che dopo vi ricordo. Allora, questa domanda sarà fatta da tutti e due. Io parto dall'alcol, se il Margherita è d'accordo, per poi finire con un aperitivo completamente creato da malattie particolarmente contorte.
La domanda è come, aspetta, metto un attimo il commento insieme all'impressione di Alessandro che dice è un po' come la vostra domanda dei drink. Ok, gliela posso fare già la traduzione oppure devo aspettare, maestro?
Aspetta, allora.
Ok. The maestro is preparing the last question, so be prepared. No, it's not weird. No, don't worry. Ok, maestro.
I Sodom devono entrare all'interno di una bevanda alcolica.
Ok.
Togliamo birra, togliamo vino, si accetta la vodka, si accetta l'alcol puro, si accetta l'assenzio. Quale sarebbe l'alcol perfetto per creare uno stordimento dei musicisti stessi e questo stordimento permette di creare un riff di chitarra, un pattern di batteria e una linea di basso e una linea di voce completamente fuori di testa. Malattia pura.
Mamma mia, questa è proprio una bomba. So, the last question of the night.
Okay.
It's the same question that we do to every guest of the show, but today it's more particular. As Alessandro said, usually we make a closed question and this question as an open question. It's true. Since the show is called the Black Calice, Il Calice Nero, the Black Calice is something that can remind some ritual, but also the calice you drink with friends and stuff and all together and hang out with people. We just want to make you think about which is the perfect drink of Sodom, but not the perfect drink, not such as beer, but some drinks, some cocktails, some alcoholic or non-alcoholic stuff as you prefer, that you can enjoy, for example, while putting headphones on the sofa, listening to Sodom music, and you drink a cup of this and say, oh, this is the perfect way to represent Sodom as drink. And if you have to create your own cocktail from zero using Sodom music, which kind of cocktail should be?
Okay.
I hope that you love this kind of question.
The perfect drink would just be Diebelzeit. It's Tom's favorite beer. It's a dark beer from Düsseldorf. I can send you a photo from the etiquette. And if I would have to create something, I think I would create an IPA with a strong note, or a strong sweet note also.
So you are speaking about mainly the beer
Yes.
side. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
I'm not that much into cocktails.
Yeah, but what we know that Sodom is the band perfect for to enjoy beers with the music.
Beer or a Jack Daniel's Coke.
Okay. Of course.
We got this one from
Okay.
a friend. He made a
Wow, it's sick. It's sick. Wow,
huge
customized Sodom Jack Daniels. Great.
No, vabbè, questo è mica cioè, veramente fantastico.
The top. So beer, APA with a kind of you said a sweet note.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Quindi una birra APA con una nota dolce. And what do you think about the perfect food for Sodom? To say so.
Food for Sodom.
Yeah.
That would
We are Italians,
currywurst. Currywurst. It's the curry sausage. It's famous in the Ruhr area. You can get it at each place here around, and that's traditional workers.
Okay, so it's a traditional food for the workers, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so good to know. So York, thanks for your time. If you want to stay with us also when the show is over to make the greetings, or you can go, no problem. We did a lot of great time. Before translating, vai maestro.
Se ci stai, appunto York, tanto ci facciamo un paio di birre quando ci vediamo a Bolotana. Dopo, se ci stai, se siete liberi, facciamo un'intervista doppia. Se appunto è d'accordo York e Tom, quindi tutti e due, se ci siete, vi facciamo un'altra intervista per sapere com'è andato appunto il concerto a Bologna.
So the maestro said that when he will go to the Sardinia concert, he will offer to you some beers.
Okay.
So he said you got some beers offer, so you are covered. But he wants to know if you with Tom will be available to do another interview in the future about the concert and the tour that we're gonna make in the summer. The dates we're gonna meet in summer, and just to ask you if you are available with Tom for a future episode. If you like the show, we hope to have you back in another show. And Maestro said, okay. You send me in the private the brand of the beer actually.
Okay. And I will give you a good picture.
Let me show this to the audience. Okay, this one. This beer one. Okay, perfect.
So this would be
okay. It's York. It's like an encyclopedia right now because he's throwing me links in private to show you. And he showed me the beer, but also the food. It's the traditional worker food of Germany that is perfect for Sodom. Okay, great.
It goes very well with the beer. So
yeah, of course. Beer and sausage. We also got some famous Italian actors, Buddy Spencer and Terence Hill, make the infamous sausage and beer challenge. So beer and sausage is perfect blend together. Okay, York, if you have some if you want to add something, you have some free space to add to the guys that are watching il Calice Nero. You got some free space before we ending the interview. Meanwhile, you think I will translate something that people is asking. Ragazzi, abbiamo fatto vedere la birra e praticamente la situazione del mangiatorio sodomizzante e praticamente faremo altri episodi anche con Tom e speriamo di beccarli presto dal vivo. Il maestro farà una bella bevuta con York in Sardegna. So York, if you have something to add at the end of the episode, you can say whatever you want. Please do not insult me, do not insult the maestro.
Thanks for having me on the show. And if you ever come to Gelsenkirchen, have your beer and your currywurst at this place. We'll show you. That's where Tom and me are always having it. That's the best one you can get in the Ruhr area.
I just will show you the link that you send me to the people. Okay, let me leave the. Okay.
Cosa sono?
So you can see the opening times, and he makes the best food in the area.
Okay, so we have the food. Maestro, prepare yourself for a German food tour, and we will we will knock on the York door to make this happen. So we will one day. Okay, and wish
thank you very much.
As possible, the Maestro will be in Sardinia. Thank you for your time again. Giving your time is the best gift you can give to us. So thumbs up, and see you guys with the next episode of Il Calice Nero. We will have York just a little bit on the show when we end the broadcast, just to make some greetings. Maestro, please remind to the people the next episodes of the podcast.
Allora, ragazzi, i prossimi episodi del podcast, appunto del Calice Nero, ricordiamo prima di tutto il 20, questa puntata apocalittica con appunto la sacerdotessa Sara, che ringraziamo perché ci sono appunto i Black Funeral con Michael Ford, quindi una puntata da non perdere. Poi ci sarà il 16, l'Argonauta, una delle etichette più talentose italiche, serie e non come quelle marce, che ci sono tante, di teste di cazzo, minchioni che non sanno fare manco il loro lavoro. Invece appunto Gero lo saluto, ma nessuno ha leccato di culo, perché non vuole leccare il culo a nessuno, perché è uno che si fa il culo dalla mattina alla sera, appunto c'ha i Nidiru, grandissima band. Poi ragazzi ricordo che appunto venerdì 17, il giorno della sfiga, chiudiamo con i Blood Red Throne, quindi il giorno può darsi che saremo tutti morti. Quindi,
e per chi vuole sabato io starò all'Edit Beer di Roma. Ci beviamo una cosa insieme per la finale del contest Agglutination. Ci sarà pure il gruppo. Ci sarà Edoardo Di Santo, che è il ragazzo che abbiamo intervistato insieme a Derek Roddi. Ci saranno un sacco di band fighe, quindi a prescindere da chi vince o chi perde, il bello di stare insieme e di vedere un cazzo di concerto metal. Quindi venite, salutiamoci, beviamoci insieme, stiamo insieme. E niente.
Il 27 di agosto, appunto, su Rock and Ball Bolotona, Sodom. Phantomax, sì, lo so, non sono le mie domande, sono tradurre, ma Phantomax, siamo due psicopatici, ci siamo trovati, infatti sicuramente ci richiederanno in qualche manicomio a breve.
Sì, saluto Pablo. Se c'è il referendum per riaprire i manicomi, votate no, perché sennò il Calicino non si fa più.
No, votate sì, perché lo faremo dentro i manicomi.
Ah, dentro, di partitari creativi, ho capito. So, a big hug to all the guys that outside of Italy are watching Il Calice Nero. Be sure to subscribe and watch this episode that will be not only live now, but you can rewatch it afterwards. So thanks again, and see you next time. Good evening, and as the maestro said, la morte vi renderà liberi. Codice d'onore
000,
che non è il PIN della carta del maestro.
Si fermerà mai.
Alla prossima.